I'm not going to go into any more of this. Well, I'll just a little bit more. This here is the Manichaean documents. I have no idea what those are, but they're written in Hebrew. And in one of these documents, there's a man called Mani, another prophet who is not mentioned in the Bible. He's unknown. But he's talking about some visions that he had of these celestial objects, and he said, like the swift lightning he gleamed, brighter than the light of the sun, the chariot glittered. So he saw some type of chariot that was in the sky. Again, he says here right after that, the house of the sky broke down to the outside. The earth trembled. A mighty voice was heard. He saw a house floating in the air, and a chariot was around there, and it glittered. That's just amazing. It sounds a lot like a ship to me. Again, there's another. These are the Dead Sea Scrolls right now, and they talk about the divine throne chariot, and they speak vividly about this. As they rise up, there's a divine small voice and loud praise. They fold their wings. What? A chariot that's in the air and it folds its wings. Wow. What is this? The throne chariot above the firmament, and they praise the majesty of the fiery firmament beneath the seat of his glory. And between the turning wheels, angels of holiness come and go, and it were a fiery vision of the most Holy Spirit. So whatever this chariot is very large, because between the wheels, this prophet could see the angels going back and forth between it, sort of like Ezekiel. Or even Jacob with his ladder. He saw a ladder descend from the glory of God, whatever that is. I would assume another cloud, and angels were climbing up and down the ladder. Again, he's talking about the chariot. They come in gorgeous colors, marvelous pigments, magnificently mingled. They rise marvelously, ascending, settling. They stay still. Wow. Again, you can't get more vivid than that. When I talk about my own UFO experiences, alien spacecraft experiences, they're able to stop on a dime, move like a speeding bullet, go vertically, descend. This prophet is saying the same thing. Ascending, they rise marvelously. Settling, they stay still. That is just amazing. Again, the other Bible, I encourage people to go and check that out. And finally, I just wanted to again thank everyone for watching. And there's so much literature that you can find that discusses all of these things, that talk about spacecraft not only in the Bible, in Hebrew culture, but in ancient Sumerian, Egyptian, Babylonian. Every culture that has ever existed before our modern times speaks of alien spacecraft. Divine Encounters by Zechariah Sitchin, Chariots of the Gods by Eric von Daniken, Vimana aircraft in ancient India and Atlantis. The Vimana aircraft were actually mentioned 10,000 years ago in flight manuals from the book the Mahabharata. Yahweh Encounters. That's a very provocative cover when you think a spaceship over a cross, written by Ann Madden Jones. Gods and Spacemen of the Ancient East by W. Raymond Drake. Very good literature that you can look up. And finally, I bought a book that I came across that has nothing to do with extraterrestrials. I just thought it was an interesting book to read. It's called Man Changes the Weather by Ben Bova. And it talks about how governments, especially the United States, Russia, and China, can basically control the weather. We've been working on this for decades. And what interested me about this book is I saw a picture of one of the first satellites ever put into orbit. Here's a picture of the satellite. Nothing too astonishing about that. You can see the antenna sticking up, and right there where my finger is, you can see a camera. That's a camera on the satellite, and that's what most of the satellites used to look like. The reason why I really bought this book is because I saw this picture in here, because this picture of the satellite looked familiar. I saw something similar to this in a book called The Alien Chronicles by Matthew Hurley. And this book is all about his theory that Renaissance art shows alien spacecraft dealing with the Bible. You have many pictures here. Mother Mary, Jesus, even Egyptian pyramids show what could be spacecraft. Okay, I certainly believe that, but most people don't subscribe to that. Well, here's a picture of, this is a painting called The Glorification of the Eucharist, and it was painted by Bonaventura Salimbeni in 1595. Again, this was painted in 1595 by an Italian. And what this painting shows, it shows Jesus Christ, the Father, and the Holy Spirit. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, sitting in heaven, appropriately on a cloud, as we've discussed much of. But check out what's in between them. It's some odd object. Again, this was painted in 1595. And you be the judge. Looks a lot like a satellite. You see the antennas, and down at the bottom it looks like some kind of camera or something. I don't know. Where's that other book? Could it be? Again, you be the judge. Thanks for watching.